About to get started here. Emil, welcome to our live Your Solution. We're going to get started here in just a moment. Waiting for a few of you guests to come in. Identify yourself. You might be a soldier. You might be a tribesman. You might be just a guest in my community, our community. I welcome you. We're going to get started here in just a few seconds. I was having some technical difficulties earlier. I hope that my microphone is working because my microphone is not working. You know what I mean? Anyways, we're going to have a good time here, 30 to 45 minutes. Your Solution. Welcome. I am your host, Santos Jr. out of Stockton, California, founder of the Soldiers of Self-Mastery movement and the world's #1 problem gambling interventionist. The world's #1. Am I proud? Santos, man, you're proud to say that. Of course I'm proud. Why? Because I was #1 loser. #1 loser in the casinos, scratchers. They're always taking my money, always taking my time, always taking my life, and I wasn't even paying any attention to it. Tonight's topic is freedom. We're going to talk about freedom. What does freedom mean to you? What is your understanding of freedom? What does freedom really mean to you? What does it mean to you right now? That's our topic. We're going to talk about this. Share with me what your meaning of freedom is. What does it mean to you? We got a proverb we're going to read, and I want to definitely acknowledge all of you wonderful friends here, friends, guests. Who knows? I might even have an enemy in the ranks. No, Santos, you don't got any enemies, man. You're like a great guy. Sure. Welcome to my world. Jim, welcome. Dinesh, welcome. Good to see you. I don't know who you are, but welcome. Dinesh, Hugo, welcome. I will probably give a little bit of time. Maybe Jim might want to come on the camera. Listen, if you have something that you want to share, you have something that you want to get on the camera, you just got to break the silence, and you want to come on the camera on this international platform. We're broadcasting via Twitter today. I don't know why LinkedIn, not LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and I was going to set up TikTok so we can go live on TikTok. In fact, I might even do that. Let me see if I've got time to go do this live on TikTok. I might as well do it. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Anyways, if you have a question, you got a concern, you're looking for a solution, you're looking for a step, one step. I'm not going to give you 2 or 3. You need one step to go forward. Let's see what we can find. Let's see what we can discuss and figure out on this broadcast. Does that work? Does that work? Let me see if I can do this. Can I even do this? Go live on TikToker? Possibly. I don't know if they're going to pay any attention. But hey, we're live on TikTok also. Let me see. Are we live on? Yeah, we're live on TikTok. So now we're broadcasting Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok. I don't know what they're going to see, but it's all good. All right, I'm going to be taking on questions, and send me a 50. What was that? Send me a $50 free play, huh? You get caught up in the trap. And Emily, Laura, evening. Hey, welcome. Make sure that you're inside, right? Make sure that your seat belt is on. Make sure it's on because we're going for a ride, 30 to 45 minutes. Lock the door and please turn down all of your distractions. I want you to benefit. I want to benefit. Take notes, right? If you can, take notes. I don't care what you got to write with. If you get a good thought that pops into your head, why don't you write it down? I'm going to write down the good thoughts that pop into my head, I'm going to keep track of that. Why? Because it's important and it helps fix life. Right? If you don't take notes, listen, my friends, if you don't take notes, if you don't keep a log, if you don't know what's going on, how are you going to know what's going on? You got to have some kind of a guide. You got to have some POIs, points of interest in life in order to get from A to B. And yeah, you're going to get scraped up. You're going to get bruised. You might even get offended by somebody that doesn't like you. Nevertheless, you want to get from point A to point B, right? All right. So my address, by the way, thank you guys for supporting. Those of you that do support this mission, like I said, if you sense that I'm supporting you, why not contribute financially to this mission? Listen, I'm a one-man, actually I'm a 1.5-man show. And lately it's becoming a one-man show because people that I depend on to work and to do things for me for this mission are not coming through. And listen, I'm not going to go break bones, right? I'm not going to send Guido go knock on the door. Hey, why haven't you done your job? I paid you or whatever. No, that's fine. You burned me once. You're not going to burn me again. You just burned me once. And this is where I'm at. I'm working real hard to develop programming to help you on the other. Listen, I don't have much time left on this planet. I don't know. I might have 10 years. I might have 5 years. I might have a week. I want to make sure that I leave something for you on the other side behind, something that continues to work, something that continues to inspire you to inspire yourself, something that continues to motivate you so that you would motivate yourself, right? I'm not just here to motivate you. I want to get you to the place where you motivate yourself. Man, that's powerful. Think about it. Think about it. When you're motivating yourself and you're inspiring yourself and you are basically your own doctor, you're your own coach. Woo, man, that's powerful. Powerful. I'm telling you. I'm excited about being here. So my address, let me see. I don't know about my address. Let me see. I need your address. I tried giving a donation, but had a problem online. Well, depending on how you want to do a donation, you can easily connect with me through this address below on the screen right there, soldiersofselfmastery.com. Welcome. Okay, you can go in there, or you can go to soldiersofselfmastery.com. You can find my email in there. It's kind of easy. And then you can go through that situation. And again, you can contact me through that email because obviously we don't want to put our information out there, right? Even though it's already out there. Does it really matter? So thank you, Laura, for doing that. Emily says, good evening. Jim says, freedom is a state of mind. Yeah, but what is freedom? Let's look at freedom. We don't even know what freedom really means, do we? That's why a lot of people are in a prison because they don't really understand what freedom means. You know that you can be in a prison and still be free? Santos, do you mean that I could have gambling problems, and be free? Well, what's going to happen if you're free in your mind? Eventually, you're going to free yourself from the problem. The goal, what is the goal? If you want freedom, what should be your first step if you want freedom in your life? What should be? What it should be? Most people don't know. We're going to have Jim come on because Jim's the only one that seems to want to come on the camera. If he wants to come on tonight, I will be putting up my link here. Freedom is a choice. Okay. Let me see. I like this one. I like that one. Your advice is worth $1 million. There we go. I'm glad that you think that way. One of these days, man, I think I'm sitting a little bit low on the camera here. One of these days, I'll get $1 million, huh? I'll get back that $1 million that I lost gambling. We'll see. So thank you for that. I really appreciate that. Emil says, thank you for your advice. Appreciate that one. Listen, I work hard on myself, folks. I'm not here to, I'm really not here to amuse anybody. I'm not here to make a show, even though I am a little bit funny. I will admit that a little bit, but I'm not here to make a show or to, uh, be a comedian. Remember President Zelensky from Ukraine? He was a clown. I'm not, sadly, it's what's going on over there, but I was just thinking about him. People really judged him. He was a clown, and now he's, a war leader. He's been forced into that situation, but things don't look good for Ukraine, by the way, and things are not going to end well for Ukraine. And not just for Ukraine, but for a lot of the rest of the world, including the United States of America. I wonder why they called it the United States of America at one time. So, no questions. I got a proverb I want to read. Anybody else want to give their meaning here? Laura, what does freedom mean to you? Race, what does freedom mean? Because freedom means something different to all of us, even though it is kind of the same thing, right? Let me do this if I can. Oh man, I'm not. I forgot that I'm using the. Anyhow, freedom means something differently to each and every one of us, even though it's the same principle. It is the same principle. Just like intuition. You guys remember intuition? We spoke about that last week. I'm telling you, intuition is something extremely powerful. This is what intuition means according to Webster or Google. Intuition, now, of course, intuition is different than freedom. Intuition is the ability to come to a conclusion very quickly without having to consciously analyze what's going on. That's intuition. It's a very, very special gift. And you and I must learn to fine tune that if we're going to be at peace. We're going to have freedom of some kind within. Intuition is it's a very powerful tool. So what does freedom mean? People talk about freedom, freedom of speech, liberty, and all of these things. What does it mean to you? What does it mean to you right now? It's one thing to understand what freedom means, but what does freedom mean to you right now? Can you really ponder that? Can you figure that one out, what it really means? Okay, let me see. Freedom is a state of mind. Nobody else wants to answer. Okay, nobody else wants to answer. Somebody says, this is an answer, freedom, right? You're a good person. Is that freedom? Of course it is. Yeah. So I'm just sitting here. I'm going to read a proverb in a minute because nobody's asking. Okay, here we go. Freedom is having peace of mind and faith. Peace of mind and faith. Yes. Now, I didn't write down the proverb, so I'm going to read one anyways. Here's a good one. St. Luke chapter 18, verse 13. And the publicans were looked at as bad people. And the publican standing afar off would not lift up so much as his eyes unto heaven. Wouldn't lift up his eyes. He's humble. But he smote upon his breast, saying, God, be merciful to me, a sinner. God, be merciful to me, a sinner. I think one of the key things to freedom, one of the very, very key things to freedom is learning how to be humble. Learning how to be humble, knowing who you are, understanding your presence, understanding your place, understanding who you are and who you need to be today, now. NOW, as Dr. Maxwell Maltz likes to share. Dr. Maxwell Maltz of Psycho-Cybernetics, one of my digital coaches. Anyhow, Time is moving. I see the numbers coming up and down. And I don't know what's happening today. Last Sunday, we had a nice crowd. Maybe I'm preaching too much. I've asked the question, I've got a few answers. Hey, Jim, I'm going to bring you on. Are you still here? Want you to share a little bit here. If you want to come on, share the screen. If you're not chicken, if you're not chicken to come on the screen, are you chicken? Somebody's watching me from the other side. Hey, by the way, we're broadcasting live. This is Your Solution. I am your host, Santos Jr. out of Stockton, California. We are broadcasting TikTok. We're broadcasting Twitter. We're broadcasting Facebook. And we're broadcasting YouTube. This is Your Solution. We all need to find that first step. We all need, every single day, we're looking for some direction. Every single day, we're looking for some direction. Every single day, we're looking for something. Something. All right, copy to clipboard. Here we go. I don't know, maybe, let me disconnect this thing. Maybe maybe they're watching the ball game. That's what it is, right? Many people are watching the ball game. Either that or the casinos are full. By the way, gambling is a lie. Gambling is a lie, my friends. If you are gambling in a casino, if you're buying scratchers, if you're playing some kind of a jackpot thing, whatever, it's false promises. I did it for 32 years and lost over $1 million. What did I gain? A little bit of experience and some heartaches and brokenness and many, many losses. There you go. All right, there we go. There it is. Freedom isn't free. There we go. Freedom is not free. By the way, I was having problems with my microphone. Is the microphone still working? It looks like I don't have any signals or bad signals. Nope, couldn't connect you there, Jim. Got to keep trying. Anybody else want to share what does freedom mean to you? What does freedom mean to you right now? You know, there's a lot of people around the world right now that if you were to ask them what freedom means to them, man, they would give you definitions that would make you bawl, make you tear up, cry. Why? Because we're in the United States and we're spoiled. But these aren't the United States, not as what we see today. But we're spoiled. Unfortunately, we are spoiled. Remember what I read about the proverb earlier? He just smote his chest, the publican. He wasn't well liked. And he said, God, be merciful to me, a sinner. God, be merciful to me, a sinner. There we go. Jim, Tucson, Arizona must be really, really warm today. Super hot.
Hey there, Santos. Yes, it's been kind of warm. Actually, we had some cloud cover, the last week, a few days. So we really appreciate that because a couple weeks ago, man, it was just broiling outside, super hot. It's not going to get any better, I tell you. It's
Yeah,
only June.
I was listening to a couple of truckers with no AC
Oh,
in Texas or
that's crazy.
driving that way.
Wow.
Man, can you imagine? Is there any freedom in there? You better set your thermostat. Either that or go to Home Depot and get yourself one of those little chiller things, man,
Yeah.
because
Uh-huh.
it's not good. It's not good. But again, our bodies can adapt. We're humans. Again, we just need to find solutions, right? It's hard when you're in the problem and you possibly could have avoided the heat.
For sure.
Yeah. So feel free to share. Feel free to share, Jim. I'm just checking out the.
Yeah, when you're talking about freedom, I said it was a state of mind. And I was thinking about emotions. Emotions dictate us, whether it be a positive way or a negative way. And I came to a statement, an interesting statement. I thought to myself that I don't have to act the way I feel. I don't have to act the way I feel. What does that mean? Let's say I'm angry, I feel angry, right? Do I have to act that way? Do I have to lash out? Do I have to be a jerk? Do I have to make things unpleasant for everyone in the room? I don't have to do that. If I feel depressed and sad, do I have to you know, act that way? Do I have to like cry, stay in bed? You know, do I have to? I don't have to do that. You know, um, yeah, I think emotions are a big driver of what we do, and freedom is saying, you know what, I have a choice. I don't have to. I don't have to do this. I don't have to feel this. I don't have to accept, what's not in my best interest. And I think it kind of you have to kind of dig deep and really understand, what is your best interest? What are your values? What are your core values? What do you get up? And I think the difficult thing is a lot of people just go through life not knowing what their values are. Their real values. What do they care about? What's truly meaningful to them? You know, and yeah, I think it's kind of starts there in order to find what your freedom is, because you can say a lot of things, you can talk a lot, but if you don't know what your values are, you could be just heading in the wrong direction. And you can say, yeah, freedom is this, freedom is that, but is that really the truth? So like I said, freedom is kind of a state of mind, and it kind of ties into your emotions, and it ties into what do you truly believe in. What do you believe in? What are you living for? you know it kind of starts right there. And to understand that you have the choice of having a certain state of mind. I'm not saying that you can be an NBA basketball star. I'm not saying that you can like climb up Mount Everest. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you have choice in how you kind of move throughout life, in the best way for you, aligned with your values. So yeah,
Exactly.
freedom.
Exactly. Well said. And you mentioned basically the FTs, the focus thieves, right? The
Hmm.
F period T period. That
Hmm.
stands for focus thieves, and we all have them. Can you identify at least two of them in your life that would keep you from having your personal freedom? It's like you have to set your own thermostat inside yourself. Most people are thermometers. We our freedom is predicated upon what's happening outside of us.
Hmm. Yeah, I was thinking about slavery. The more I think about the United States, I really think about illusion. I think about an illusion. I think about free markets. I think about working for a living, and I'm thinking, wow, it's like I'm actually kind of like a slave. What am I a slave to? I'm a slave to earning money while banksters just get to print money. I can have that attitude, and I could be enslaved by that kind of bitterness, and I've been there. I'm still there, being bitter about certain situations. And like the slavery to the media just trying to catch our attention, the focus thieves, right, Santos? I mean, it's like trying to dictate our emotions, trying to get our attention on doing things that are not in our best interest, but in their best interest. So I got to remind myself, it's like I don't want to be in bondage to these focus thieves. And where does it come from? It's these emotions, right? It's like the funny stuff on YouTube, the angry stuff on Fox and MSNBC, all
Does it
this
come?
stuff.
Does it come? It impacts our emotions, but it first it hits the mind, right? There's the the mind.
Hmm.
It works through the mind, and then if it can get a hold of you emotionally, see,
Hmm.
or your soul, your emotions. I mean, I'm not an expert on how all of these things are in us, the nervous system, the subconscious, your your primal brain. We've got two brains, right? We've got one brain. There's two brains. There's the subconscious. There's the. I don't know how it all works. I just know one thing that I've learned. I've learned, and I'm sure you've learned this too. And we're all learning this now that I'm away from gambling. When I was within gambling, none of these things really mattered to me at all. When you're steeped in your addiction, when you're steeped in your problems, your relationship problem, whatever it is, you can't see any of this, man. And that's why I've opened up this platform. Somebody might stumble across this platform and catch us talking about these points. And who knows, maybe we might help that person awaken. That's my goal. I don't expect to get rich off these podcasts. It would be nice, but I don't expect it. What
Yeah.
do I expect? Results,
Mhm.
lives changed. Somebody says, "Hey, Santos, it's not Santos, you're great, you're a legend, you're this." It's not about that. Santos, you know what? I found myself. Yeah, you were the spark, but I found myself. Now I'm doing the work internally. Man, I found my thermostat. I was a thermometer. It was like my temperature was going up and down, and the environment was affecting me big time. But now, hey, I'm recalibrating my thermostat. That's inside you. Where is that? I don't know. It could be your thinking process, the way you speak, who you associate with, your environment, some of the toxins that you've been through. We have to find that place, though. We have to find that place where we set our thermostat. All right, my program is over. I don't know what happened there. Maybe it's because my batteries were dead or low.
Yeah,
So much for
I like to think about the flip side, freedom. How about slavery? What are we a slave to? And you talked about it. It's like, it's the ideas and the emotions, right? It's like these emotions are the real things that, could be a tool of building, or it could be a weapon of destruction, you know? So, I mean, like, you can think about it in the terms of servant master. Okay, who's going to serve and who's going to be the master? I want to be the master. I want to be the master of myself. I want
exactly.
to be, I want to let, I want something to serve me. I want I want my values maybe to serve me. I want my ideas to serve me. I want my actions to serve me. I don't want to be, beholden. I don't want to be at the mercy, enslaved to emotions. You know, I need to have the choice. I need to have certain emotions. I have to realize that certain emotions are going to come over me. Okay. But how can I use
Yeah,
those emotions, right? In spite of and because of, right? In spite of me being
yeah,
angry, I'm going
exactly.
to go ahead and, choose not to, lash out. I'm going to choose to not act like my emotion. I'm going to just take a deep breath, be aware of it, walk around, just figure stuff out in my mind, understand it and deal with it. I'm not going to let these emotions, control my life. When I was teaching, one of the things, if you're going to be a successful teacher, don't let the kids mess with your emotions. You
Yeah,
just, it's calm as strength, man. Calm as
yeah,
strength. And if you let them get underneath your skin, you lose total control, man. It's not going to be good. So
yeah,
yeah, I mean, like, we want to be the soldier of mastery. There it is, right? We want to be master. We want to control, our
yeah.
destiny, and that's freedom right there. I think that's freedom.
Yeah, that's the ultimate freedom. The ultimate freedom is really to find yourself,
Hmm. Yeah.
um, to know who you are. A poet said, "Know thyself." I believe it was Thoreau. The name is Thoreau. Know thyself. I heard that many times, many times. What the heck does it mean? By the way, I want to give a shout out to a friend, Diego Avila. I believe he's come through from TikTok. good friend, rapper. He's a rapper, Christian rapper. Wanted to bring him out here. Anyhow, thank you guys for those of you that are sharing your ideas and what it means to you. Thank you. I really appreciate you. This isn't easy to come on here every Sunday. I've been here for over a year and a half now. It isn't that easy. I mean, I make it look easy, but it's not. Sometimes you got to figure out, man, what are we going to talk about? It seems like we talk about the same things over and over. But it is true that your good life is going to come out of a good series of good, constant, positive reminders. Jim was talking about making a decision. I'm going to choose. Well, it's not that easy to choose, right? How do we make better choices? You make better choices because you prepare yourself, right? If you hear something enough times, it'll sink in and it will help support your direction. But we can't just say, well, I'm going to make a choice. We can, but most people won't. Why? Because they're a thermometer. They're not a thermostat. And we gotta self-regulate, man. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much money you got. You got to self-regulate. I have to self-regulate. Well, Santos, you don't gamble anymore. It doesn't matter. I still have to self-regulate because what if I get hit by a sidewinder? What if a nuclear missile hits me, catches me by surprise, right? Little sidewinder missiles, you can kind of get that, right? When a missile goes, it hits someplace, it causes destruction, it causes death. Well, I got to be prepared ahead of the missile, and I should be prepared during the crisis. Now that's a work in progress right there. To be prepared, to be that thermostat. It takes careful work. It takes planning. It takes a lot of thinking. I was talking to somebody earlier today, and most people do not want to stop and think about their life. They don't want to think about what's really going on, the difficulties. Most people don't. There's a small percentage, 1 to 3%. 1 to 3% will look at their problems, will diagnose, will see where they're at, etc., etc. That's a small number. It's a small number, but it's a wide open area that we can climb into, right? Why hang around with the 97 when you can jump into the 1 or 3%? I think those are better numbers, better odds for me at least. I don't know how you see it, Jim, but you probably do see it the same way.
Mm-hmm.
We're going against the grain, folks. This program here goes against the grain. Sometimes I go live on TikTok or I might do a Facebook, and I find myself talking to myself. And I look at the screen and I say, well, what the heck? That's fine. Keep on doing what you're doing. If somebody needs to hear this, it's you, right? Me. And I'm not ashamed. Listen, there's times I go live, get 17, 18 people. Sometimes I get guests. We get 8, 9, 10 guests. I'm not in control of any of that. I'm in control of what I can bring forth. But as long as I can support you on the other side, I'm going to do my best to support you. Why? Because I know that in the process, I'm supporting myself. That's kind of selfish. It is. I'm going to support you first. I'm going to do my best to support you first. And in the process, I'm going to get mine. And that is a form of selfishness. But I don't care. It's the way it's working well for me. I didn't think that way before, but I do now. So thank you, Diego, and for sharing that. And so what do you think, Jim, about that? What I just shared. Let me see, Keith. Keith says, "Amen. I messed up bad. My mind is all screwed up. 7 payday loans. Oh man, so much debt, and it's all due to this addiction and more. I hate it. I'm in a deep hole." Well, I'm glad you're here, Keith. I'm glad you're here, my friend. Until you make up your mind, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. And listen, I'm not here to condemn you or judge you, man. You might be going through this because of something that you experienced in your childhood. You might not. It might not even be your fault that you're gambling right now. It might not. But unfortunately, you're going to have to take responsibility for the actions because you're the one that's doing it. But I'll tell you, you could have been injured very early on in life, and it's beginning to show up now in your life. And it could be the gambling addiction that you have. Nevertheless, we're here to find your solution. We're here to find your step, right? There has to be one. And once you find that one, you step into it. And then you concern yourself with the next one. Find that one. Adjustment of your thermostat. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Is this benefiting me? How is this benefiting me? How is this not benefiting me? Remember, I said most people are not going to sit down to think. And if we're not careful, we'll fall into that category of 98% of the population. People don't want to stop and think. They don't want to look at their thing. They don't want to analyze. I remember uh, my part-time engineer. He would tell me, Santos, you need to look at your analytics on YouTube. Look at your audience. Look at how it's growing. Look at who's paying attention to you. I didn't want to know any of that stuff. I just want to grow and I want to put videos out there. Well, the moment I began to analyze, I began to notice a few things. Jim, when you begin to analyze your business, really, really scrutinize, you begin to notice, hey, I didn't see this before. I didn't notice this thing, but it's not as difficult as I thought. You begin to mold, you begin to manipulate and change, manipulate in a good way, not a bad way.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
I think about a song from singer Alanis Morissette, and I think the title is that I would be good, you know, and the lyrics go that I would be good even if I went bankrupt, that I would be good even if I was fuming, if I got old, in spite of, right? In spite of all the things that the world throws at you, right? You, you have that choice of being a certain way. And I think you touched on this before. Um, having faith, right? Like in religion, right? Like a rock that you stand by. It's like, you know what? I stand by a higher power who protects me, you know? So I'm not going to be afraid. In spite of all the crap that gets thrown at me, it may feel bad, you know what? But, I got this higher power, that I believe in. I believe in. And that gives me strength to endure the crap. I can choose to be good in spite of the garbage that I feel, the circumstances that I'm in. I have this higher power. So I do admire those people who have that kind of rock, that kind of faith, and I think that's what we all need. Some type of faith, that's strength that'll allow us to move forward in spite of all the stupid emotions and the triggers that are hurled at us, the letdowns, the things that we do, the way we see ourselves compared to the world, compared to others. There has to be something that'll hold us up, you know, and once again, I think it goes back to this choice, right? Of seeing yourself, and asking yourself or telling yourself, what, I want to elevate, the way I care about myself to a new level. I think you talked
Exactly.
about this a long time ago, a few months ago. You talked about there's different levels to be at. There's the survival level, right? There's a survival level, just trying to stay physically safe, right? It's time to transcend. It's trying to transcend. It's like, you know what? I want to do better. I want to take better care of myself. What does that look like? What does that look like? You said it. It's like asking those questions. You know, you know, how can I be better to myself? And you think about what's going on in your life, and you say, you know what, shit, uh, going to this casino doesn't seem like it's really helping me, right? Dr. Phil, how's that working for you? Right? How's that working for you? Doesn't seem like, it's like, why am I going here? It's like, this is not a way to take good care of myself. How can I transcend? You know, you know, I mean, like, how can I move to the next level, right? To be better. better, a little bit better, you know? And just that focus, right? That's a good focus, right? You know, it's a good focus to concentrate on. You know, having that idea, focus on how can I treat myself better, you know, so I can be better for all the things that I believe in, you know, whether it be family or your loved ones or, you know, the people around you, you know, the world, whatever, you know. I mean, like, I want to get better. I want to do better for myself. Focus.
Yep, exactly. Now, Laura says some of it takes a little bit more time. The process is not instant. That's a good statement. The 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 scales will tell you. The scales will tell you how instant something needs to be. The scales, right? If the scales are not where they need to be, okay. If your scale is like this and you know it, you may need to make an instant decision. Uh, you will need to make an instant decision to bring yourself in balance, the scales. Now, the process, it does take time, obviously, to heal. It takes time to recover, but it doesn't take a whole lot to make a decision. As especially that's why we're here. Listen, we're here every Sunday. We're here to elevate. And once you just spoke about it, once you're elevated at a certain level, it's hard. It really is hard to go down again because you want to go to the next level. Nicola was talking about, the thought of going back into the casino, right? You're here and you drop down, you got, $250 in the bank, and now you've got $50 in the bank, right? Your goal is to keep that 250 and maybe go higher with it. But what are we doing? We're here. We're not even level, man. And that's what I'm here for. I want to. We're running out of time. We're going to be ending soon here. It's been a great broadcast. We've had a little bit of an audience. Actually, I don't know. Maybe people just coming on and off. And I truly appreciate all of you guys participating, asking questions. Listen, we all have an individual struggle that we're working through, all of us. And the faster that you get through that, the more freedom you're going to acquire, right? The more internal freedom that you will acquire. The longer it takes for you to make a decision, or the longer that you play in the game of the struggle, like they say, you're on the fence, man. Either get off the fence and go full-fledged gambling, or get off the fence, get on the other side so that you're not gambling anymore. You have to make that decision. And once you get beat up enough times, it should be a lot easier for you to make the decision. We can always say, well, we'll get to it. I know it takes time to do this and the other thing. We can say that to ourselves. But again, you got to look at your life and you got to answer your own question. How bad do I need it right now? Can I afford to wait? Can I continue playing the game for a little bit longer and then I may end up stopping? If you can do that, that's up to you. But if you're not even willing to look at uh, those thoughts, if you're not willing to go to the negotiation table in your mind and discuss these things, then you're in trouble. You're in trouble. You're not free. You're not free. You're in a prison. And man, being in a prison, but I don't like that word, but you can still be in a prison and still be free. Is that correct, Jim? Can you be in a prison? Can you be in a physical prison today in a correctional institute and be a free man?
Sure.
Is that possible?
Yeah, that one guy in the Jewish concentration, that Nazi concentration camp, you know, he saw tremendous suffering, you know, people getting killed and dying, misery, you know, but in his mind, he chose to look at the nice things of life, you
Yeah.
know, and he tried to pass that on, I believe, to many other people in the concentration camp. So I mean, it's like he said that I think, they can beat up my body, break my body, but they can't steal what's in my mind of what I choose to think. You can like kill me. I can still say, you know what, I forgive you. You know, I still forgive you. You can't, you can like cut me down, but I can still stand up to my values, you know? So, I
Exactly.
mean, yeah, I mean, we have that choice, and it's that strength. We got to find that strength, that rock, right? Whatever it is, right? Some people say Jesus Christ. Some people say, whoever religion that you're into. Yeah, some type of, some type of thing, hang on to something, you know, hang on to something. Um, Hang on to like your past experience, Yeah, it sucks now, but it'll get better. It has gotten better. I mean, like, life is messy. Life is not a linear thing. I had my sink was stinking, right? My bathroom sink was stinking. It's like, I think there's junk, getting clogged in there, right? So, okay, I'm gonna make a decision to like take care of this nonsense. It stank too much. So I go underneath, unscrew stuff here, okay, things fall down. All right, I look down in there. It's like, oh yeah, look at all that junk. Shoot, what am I gonna use to clean this stuff out? Uh,
P-trap.
Coat, coat hanger, it's like all this junk that was right there. It's like, okay, I keep on looking. I don't get it. Okay. Find a chopstick. I start scraping the stuff down, right? Because it was pretty nasty right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and then when I turn on the water comes out underneath, right? It's like, oh no, it's like all this water. But it's like, okay, all right, it's okay. Shut off the water, get the towel, wipe it up, okay, put it back in, run the water and get all, okay, it's done. The stink is gone. I had to go through some hassle today, but you know what?
Yeah.
Doesn't stink anymore,
You
Okay,
faced it.
I understand that there's going to be crap in my way. Go to the casino, right? You promised yourself you wouldn't go to the casino, right? You blow that $250, right, from the bank account. It's like, fuck, I messed that up, It's like, you know what? Forgive yourself, right? I screwed up, I made a mistake. What happened, right? Like you said, assess the situation. What happened? Why? What were those feelings that got me? Why, what was the temptation of pulling money out? Spending that. Why did I do that? Okay, so it might not have been a failure, right? You learned a little bit, right? You learned a little bit about yourself for the next battle, right? For the next time. For the next time. We all mess up, we all mess up, but it's important to like forgive yourself, right? Don't despair, right? You just keep going. We've all been there, things are
You're
not
getting
perfect.
results. Yeah, you're getting results, right? The problem gambler is getting results. May not be the results he wants, but he's getting results. The
Right.
person that is free, the person that is no longer gambling, is also getting results.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Uh, Hopefully, he or she should like the results he's getting if he's not gambling or whatever. It might be gambling in a casino. It might be, again, it might be something else that you're battling with. Who knows? Because ultimately, gambling is just the icing. It's what's underneath the iceberg that you need to get at. And I
Right.
found that when I began to look at my gambling issue, I turned inside myself. I began to adjust my thermostat, and
Mhm.
I found a lot of things. I found out that the reason why I gambled today, one of the major reasons, was because I had a seed planted in my life when I was a child.
Mhm.
How was that seed planted? Well, I grew up under a lot of domestic violence. I didn't have at home, I didn't have any real security. I was abandoned. As a child, I was basically abandoned very early on. Well, I found gambling with some of the older, scruffy guys in the neighborhood at about 11 or 12, maybe 12, 13 years of age. They didn't care what I looked like. They didn't care how old I was. If I had a few greens in my hand, come on in. We can rip you off too. The older guys knew a little bit more than us young guys. And I don't think I ever won playing craps with those guys. I don't think I ever won, but I had the hope that I would win. It's kind of like the gambler, right? The gambler never wins typically, and then he ends up breaking down somewhere. Um, why did I say all of that? I guess I said all of that to understand. to understand where you are and what it is that you need to be doing, setting your thermostat. And in here, I'll tell you one thing about this place. I'm not here to judge anybody, but I'm on a level in here where I don't give a shit about gambling anymore. Gambling's the things of my past, the lottery tickets, and a lot of these other addictions. Now, do I have problems? Of course, I have challenges in my life where you're going to continue to find things that you have to deal with. You have to confront, not deal with them. You have to confront them. You've got to make a decision. Anyways, we're at 51 minutes. I appreciate you, Jim, sharing once again. We got to get some more folks in here to come on and share. Diego, man, I thank you. This is a young guy here who's a singer, and I met him. I don't know. I met him a long time ago, a couple of years ago on Facebook, and I believe he's still doing his thing. And we were kind of just met up, and here we go. We run into each other again. So I appreciate you for coming on and sharing. We're still promoting on TikTok, even though I don't got an audience. They're probably all gone there. So anyways, TikTok's a funny thing. I just do it for therapy. I do want to thank all of you guys that came in. Emily, Laura, Race, MMFI, LLC, Nicola, and Diego. Let me see who else was here today. We've had a little bit of an audience today. Thank you guys for coming on. And some other folks that were coming on that didn't show themselves on the screen. Keith, thank you for coming out, hanging out with us. Dinesh. That name, let me see, what is that name? Is that Indian? I believe that's Indian. Yeah. Your advice is worth $1 million. Well, one of these days I'll get the $1 million. I'll split it with Jim because he's the only one that comes on the screen. He's the only one that comes on the screen. Mil, thank you for coming on. And the rest of you via Facebook and Twitter and TikTok, thank you for hanging out. And the numbers are getting low. So we've come to the end of the broadcast. We're going to be here once again on Sundays, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We take on a topic. I do my best. Listen, I don't want to sit here and preach, but we fall into it. The more you guys get involved, the less talking I do. Maybe we can get Jim to do a little bit more. Of course, Jim shares, not afraid to share. So I appreciate him. And that's it for the broadcast. My call to action is, look, find what it is that's going to set your freedom off. Find your thermostat screw. Find your thermostat and recalibrate it if necessary. You know what I mean, right? Your thermostat, you know what your thermostat is. You know what it is that you need to adjust. You know that. Now, if you can't do it alone, there is coaching available. I do offer one-on-one coaching. I do offer mentoring if that's something that you want to participate in. Is it free? No, it's not free. There's a price to pay. In fact, there was Emily that said freedom isn't free, right? So there's a price to pay. But I hate that word, but we'll use it. I will work with you, right? I will work with you. If you're somebody that is willing to invest and you understand what money is a bartering tool. You can use it to advance your education faster. It's called quantum leaping. If you want it, that's where a good coach comes in. Now, you got to have a good coach because not just anybody out there can be a coach. You have a good quality coach. What makes a good quality coach? A coach that's learning to coach him or herself. That makes a good coach. A coach isn't just a coach that's been out there. Man, I've been coaching for 30 years. What do you do in your time off? Relax, watch the ball games, watch TV? No. I don't care if you're 90 years of age and you're a coach. You should be coaching. You should be advancing. You should be resetting, recalibrating your own thermostat. That's all I have, friends, out of Stockton, California. Remember the Soldier Scribe right there. You want to shoot an email, you got a question, you got something you got a donation of $1 million that you want to give me. I believe we can accept $1 million. I believe so. It might be a little difficult, but I believe we can accept it. We'll make an accommodation for that. So with that said, Jim, I'll give you the last words, and we've come to the end of the broadcast.
Yeah, yeah. Just don't forget what Santos was talking about: freedom, right? Freedom in the mind. How keep on thinking about how you can improve yourself. How can you take better care of yourself? And yeah, things don't turn around, right away. But I tell you, you can build up a lot of momentum by just doing little things, just deciding to do little things, and those little things will build up in the day. And those little things, when you do them, when you accomplish them, they add up to, stronger feelings, more confidence, you know, it gives you a chance to be a little bit more resolute, uh, you know, develop your perseverance, and then you start expanding. You really start expanding your confidence, and you start believing that, yeah, I can turn things around. But just keep on asking, how can I improve myself? And then just take little steps. Journal like Santos says. What happened? What went well? What didn't go well? What were my little goals? Those things are going to add up day by day by day by day, and you'll be able to get there for sure. Life is not like a straight line going up, right? Just accept that. But you're super powerful, right? In spite of the crap that hits you, you can still keep going. You can still keep going.
Exactly. Exactly. Thank you for that. Thank you for those last comments, Jim. You can keep going. You can keep going. By the way, I do have a few personal journals. They're really nice journals, and I'm offering free of charge. I will send it to you as long as you're in the United States. I will send you one of these if you request it, if you want one. All you have to do is ask, send me your petition there, right? We've got one of a kind, a guided journal to celebrate all that you are. That one, a couple of different styles, just for you today. And these are guided journals. They're not just plain open books. They're guided. So you have questions inside, little areas that you can write, and they're really cool. Guided journal for healing, hope, and daily care. Where's the other one? Let me see. So all you have to do is ask me. I'll send it to you. I'll pay for it. It doesn't, as long as you're in the U.S. The 5 minute gratitude journal. Give thanks, practice positivity, and find joy. All right, that's all I have. We've come to the end of the broadcast. With that said, I think I acknowledged everybody, didn't I? Yeah, I did. All right. So donate if you feel that it's a worthy cause for you. Support this mission. I'm not ashamed to ask for support. Yeah, I work to feed this mission myself. Believe me, I contribute to this mission myself. Why? Because I'm benefiting from it. That's why I contribute. So I do ask, I'm not ashamed to ask. Some of you have contributed. I thank you. I appreciate all of you that have. And just do what you can. Do what you can. Here's a good idea, and I'll end on this one. The next money that you go to a casino with, whether it's $25 or it's $2,500, remember this. Man, I could donate this to the mission. I wouldn't gamble. Let me go do this right now. Why not? You're donating your money somewhere. Why not donate to this mission? It's a good cause. I believe you believe it's worthy. All right, with that said, I will see you guys on my next one at the top on the inside, making every day super fantastic, terrific, and over the top. And remember, your good life is going to come out of a good series of good, constant, positive reminders. Thanks once again, Jim, and to all of you, good night.
Thanks, Santos. Have a good week. Take care. Bye.